Hello, hello.
Hello?
How are you all
Buenos
doing?
noches.
Good to
Is
see you,
is
man.
my volume blowing you guys out?
No, that's all good. Sound good to me. It's my volume out.
Pretty good.
Okay,
How about mine?
yours is fine and dandy. I'm the one
Awesome.
who occasionally either goes magenta or causes eardrums to bleed for no apparent reason with my son's settings. So I thought I'd set it everything to the midpoint. I'd put on this lovely background. So for those of
Oh,
you
that's
who
nice.
for those of you that are old enough, do you remember Max Headroom?
Oh, yeah. God, that
Nah, I
was
No.
don't.
Oh man, it was a British show too.
was
Uh,
Okay.
that like the 70s or something, or 80s or 90s? I can't even
Yeah,
tell
it
now.
was way back. It was way back. It's something only the old fart science fiction cult movie people tend to remember
Yeah.
these days. But it was, if you're hanging out somewhere along the line, Michael, and you're just not in the mood to work that hard, Max Headroom is mildly amusing classic cult British TV. It
Okay.
and it, because there was only one main character the whole time, we don't have to debate who was the better Doctor Who sort of thing, you know. So it's cool.
Awesome, awesome.
Uh,
Oh, so how are you all doing tonight?
Yeah,
Boy,
pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, it's getting late for me, but not too bad. Doing good. Nice to
Nice
see you,
review you
Larry.
wrote on that, Gizmo. Nice review you wrote there. I enjoyed reading it.
Appreciate that. Nice. Yeah, yeah. Put some time into that one. A bit of testing, some pictures and all that good stuff, you know?
Yeah.
they got you on their early send list, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Like I've not done a review for them for a while, but one of the contacts I had reached out and he's like, "Oh, we got this review that we're doing or a launch," and then they said,
Yeah.
"Yeah, feel free to have a unit." I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Yeah. You didn't get the color for that, huh?
You said the color?
The AMS for that?
Uh,
Elegoo, you talking about that one?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no color for that one. Single color printer.
The Elegoo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
I
Centauri
thought there
carbon.
was an option for the.
I think
it's
it was.
coming out later this year.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
they
Oh,
did it for one of their bigger bed slingers, but not for their Core XY.
oh, I
be
thought
like a
they
future
had one for
launch.
that. Let me see
Yeah.
here. Centauri Carbon. Huh.
Yeah,
It
Larry, did
says
you
that it's
hear?
releasing.
Yeah, yeah,
What's
go ahead.
that?
Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
They.
Yeah, it says it's releasing later in 2025.
Oh,
So
okay.
likely like third quarter or something like that. That's what it was saying because I was like, why would I want to buy an XY core that is a single color after I've been using the bamboo?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks
Wow.
Yeah.
interesting. It's the same dimensions as the bamboo. So it's
Exact
got the
same.
same bed
Yeah.
dimensions and
Yeah.
everything it looks
Wow.
like.
Yeah.
I
So I'm kind of like, why would I want to spend the money on that? I mean, yeah, it's a 299 entry point and everything, but why would I want to spend the money on that unless I'm just starting out when I can have a Core XY 4 colors?
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
for three,
Well,
definitely.
four times the money, three times the money. So yeah,
if
sure.
That's a good point.
if you care
That's a good
about the
point.
color, I
That's what
mean,
I'm saying.
you
Yeah.
know,
I
For
mean,
someone
as
just starting out, I mean, even the K1 and the K2 have AMSs, or
Yeah.
K2
yeah,
does. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's
not
not that
everyone's
much of
gonna
a
want
larger
color.
price point.
So if you don't
Yeah.
want
Right.
color, and obviously you're a big fan of Elegoo, I think it's a good buy. I think it's good for beginners. If you're like an existing, 3D printer, probably not the best option, but it's still a solid machine. Price point, quality, and obviously with the future upgrade, I think it could be a good buy for
You
sure.
have
You say that again?
do you have a bamboo?
Well, me?
A bam yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I've got the
bamboo printer?
X1C, and I got two
Okay.
A1s.
The reason I was asking was I only caught part of your review and then I had to take off, so I didn't finish reading it. But I was going to ask you if the is it was it good print and all that for and speed as
Yeah,
it compared to
solid.
the bamboo? Okay,
Definitely.
with
I'm not
300
sure.
bucks, then that would be that's half the price of a P1.
Exactly.
they're-
So really,
yeah.
I'm surprised at the actual launch price. Like they did really well with the launch price.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be
Well,
like
did they?
$500.
What is the build plate and the hot end max temps?
It's 320 for the hot end. The build plate, I'm actually not too sure. It's probably like 100 or 120. I have to
Probably
double check that.
110 or 120 because they're really
Yeah.
pushing the CF based stuff. But I could
Right.
be wrong.
Yeah, because I know I looked at their 400 their big one before,
Mm-hmm.
and it would only go up to like 80 on the bed, which kind of takes out stuff like carbon fiber and that. So that's
Right.
why I was asking.
It's a weird time in the printing space right now. I mean, people are
Yeah.
trying to people are trying to cannibalize each other at the low end, and there's a huge amount of Me Too 256 by 256 by 250. Prusa comes along with their Core 1, and it's the usual Prusa freak show of dimensions of what? 220, 250, 275, or some
Yep.
mutant
That's so
perversion
weird.
like that. As much as I like Prusa in many ways,
Yeah.
and I do regard them as a premium maker, and as much as I am terrified at the idea of letting anything new into my operation out of reality, I've got to. I just look and I go, the sad thing about the whole AMS thing is it's killing the IDEX market. And for people who want to do, would love to do supports and do the top layer of supports in PETG, and they print mostly PLA, IDEX makes a hell of a lot more sense for people like me than
Yeah.
a 4-color AMS. And it certainly is
Right.
not a high waste environment either.
What are
But
you using for IDEX? Do you have one?
no, I don't.
Oh,
And
I've got.
that's why I've looked, I've considered, and it's kind of like, okay, well, what am I
Yeah.
going to do though? I mean, for IDEX these days, I got a couple of options, but most of them are Voron and they're kits from Fabrico. And I'm going to be dropping $1,500 to $2,000 on a 300 by 300 by 300 printer just to get IDEX. And I'm going,
Oh,
that's bullshit. Not going to happen.
Yep.
you
Not
can get
today.
one of those. I've got 3 of those 10 logs, and they've recently upgraded or changed their company to, I think it's InnoCube. And they're probably only InnoCube. Let me look here and see. Well, and then there's a company out in I think the East Coast called L&L 3D that was or still is the tech support US for those.
Okay.
And I'll put that in there and show you they got a upgraded version of them, and they're only about 300 millimeter build plate. Their Vulcan is I'll just put this link in there and you can dig around on there and see it's
Just with that,
Okay.
I can go
Sweet.
find it. I appreciate
Yeah.
you mentioning that because that's,
yeah.
everybody's jumping on the Core XY for faster, 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 or they're jumping on bigger, 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 or they're trying to do both at the same time,
Yeah.
which can be entertaining to watch the failures transpire.
I thought
Wait, let me
I
quickly
thought-
jump in. I just want to say hey to Kurt. It looks like a new guy. Do you have a mic, Kurt?
Kurt, welcome to our weirdness.
How's it going? Don't know if you have a mic or you just want to kind of listen in. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if you got a mic. But yeah, if you do, you reach in any time. But yeah, that's all good.
So it's interesting though watching what's going on right now. I'm looking forward to seeing what shows up at Midwest Rep Rap Festival this year.
Oh, when's that?
Where's that at?
That's out in Goshen, Indiana, at the Elkhart County Fairgrounds.
When is it?
Nice.
That is June, like the second weekend in June, I think. Let me jump over and have an ogle in my calendar.
No, yeah, I was hoping one of these days, someday I'm going to get to one of those.
It is
Never-
It is Saturday and Sunday, the 21st and 22nd of June.
Solstice. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, get down with your bad self, say word.
My birthday is the 22nd of June.
Ah, well, happy birthday way ahead. I'll be at Murph, so I won't get to wish it to you in person. But yeah, my wife and I are going to go out to that. Not that she's into nerding or at all, but she'll drop me off, take the truck, and disappear for a while. I'll hang out with all the interesting people and hang out with them for the after dark at Murph on Saturday night and drink heavily. And since she's driving, I can get away with such stupidity even at my age when I should know better. So there we
Sounds
go.
good. I like it.
Yeah, and hopefully there'll be some interesting things going on. Because it's going to settle down. There's going to be a whole lot of shaking out, and I think bamboo really, really, really blew it, and they're not recovering from it. And I mean, the fanboys of bamboo. I admit I've got a bamboo A1 Mini. I love the hell out of it. I print stuff all the time with a 0.2 millimeter nozzle. It is the most bomb-proof detail printer for the in between normal printers and printers for ants category. But, I'm just not interested in joining their one organization to rule them all club.
On
Yeah,
that
it's a bit of a bad
L&L, that
taste in your mouth.
Vulcan was only $600
Okay.
for IDEX, and like I said, it's based on the 10 logs, and they upgraded a whole bunch of stuff. And then I believe if you get a clipper pad, I tried this
I'll
under
share
my
my
10
screen real
log.
quick.
Oh, go ahead. Huh?
So yeah, I brought up the website here, the Vulcan. See the
Yeah,
2 filaments there,
yeah,
dual extruder.
yeah. Go up to their top, and you can get to the printers when you hit products there, and go to the right there, the L&L standard or printers, either one.
Okay.
And there.
This one here, right? Okay.
So yeah,
So I click
it's
into that.
even the 10 logs I got are very solid printers, but there's Marlin, 1.0 Marlin, so they're very slow.
Yeah.
But I was
Right.
able to get them. The pad 7 and that clipper pad, that's kind of like the Creality pad. You
Oh
plug
yeah.
that in and you load their software, and then it runs on clipper, and you get up around 150 millimeters, pretty reliable.
Well, it
Nice.
actually just said that they're now shipping with Marlin too.
These are, yeah, but
Which does support pressure advance and a few other things, but I'm not sure in a bed slinger in that size.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I want to ask
printed a ton on it.
what speed does like the Bamboo Lab run at, like millimeters? What's their like maximum quoted speed?
Well, there's 2 parts on that. There's acceleration, and then there's the actual print speed. So their acceleration is very high, like 20,000 millimeters cubed or something. And then
Yeah.
I think they're around, if you go into the slicer, do you have one, Mike? You said? Go into your
Yeah.
slicer and look at print settings under speed. And I think it's like 300 on infill and 250 or 200 on the walls, and it's fast.
Yeah, and with a 0.4
Okay.
nozzle, you can run those speeds and actually get acceptable, if not glorious, results.
Yeah.
Okay, I see 450 on a sparse infill
Yeah.
for the
So,
X1C.
but
Is that on your A1 or your X1C?
That's the X1C.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not on a bed slinger.
All those
right.
bamboos run at those speeds, and they tune them in for that. You still got to tune your filament,
Because
though.
I think the X1C can go up to 500.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think, but
I was thinking that
they
because
throttle it to 450.
Of course, you're
None of
right.
them.
I saw on
Basically,
the review that I did for the Elegoo Centauri, it's also capped at 500. So as I was wondering, is it going to be the exact same? It turns out it
Well,
probably
That's
is.
what I was wondering.
Yeah.
and then you're into the balance there between quality of print and volumetric capacity of the hot end.
Oh yeah, the
well, they,
volumetric.
I can squirt some plastic all across my shop space if I want to. But
Yeah,
when it
yeah,
lands, it's going to look like spaghetti on
yeah.
the floor.
yeah.
Well,
They've got a high flow hot end for the Centauri, so they quoted
Yep.
at 32 millimeters cubed, which is pretty
Okay.
good. It's pretty solid. If you look at like the filament settings for most, I guess the default for Bambula PLA, they have it down at 21, but I don't know what the max
yeah,
flow is
With a
for the
point four.
actual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, right,
0.4.
exactly.
Yeah.
Let me
but
quickly. I'll bring out some prints that I did. I'll show the
You
camera.
compare it to almost the vast majority of printers out
yeah,
there that if you set your limit to much higher than 12, you're probably going to get some voids.
yeah, it just depends on what the hot end and like you said, the acceleration matters a lot too on those, and that's what
Yep.
they really tuned in.
And that's
So
like my I've got a rat rig V Minion.
yeah,
And unfortunately, the Fadus hot end in there is a very lightweight hot end, and it's got a Bondtech light extruder on it.
yeah.
You know, that damn thing will not feed a 0.2 millimeter nozzle. It just can't do it unless you slow down to something ungodly slow, like 20 millimeters an hour. I'm exaggerating, but
Is it Clipper?
oh, it's Clipper. The machine has its own Pi built in. It's got an SKR2 board in. This is a rat rig box. It's high dollar, high end. Oh,
What is
This
that?
is
the new
pretty
printer,
cool,
Mike?
right? Yeah, this is of the
Is that a
Centauri.
Borg?
yeah,
Yeah, it's like a
off that-
cyborg.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not the. It looked like Star Trek board for a minute there.
Yeah, if you take the side plate off, it looks like something out of the old William Gibson Neuromancer series. Yeah.
And also did the same one in CPU. So this one pretty impressive. There's more stringing, but I used like a lighter to get rid of the stringing and stuff.
You printed that on what?
This is TPU, same speed as PLA.
That's CPU.
Yep. Look.
Wow.
Wow. You know what really be cool? You mount that on a gallon paint can full of water, and you put a water pistol in those nostrils of those mouths, and there's going to be little kids in the neighborhood laughing their asses off when you roll out with that on a hot day.
Yeah.
How fast did you say that printed?
So this was with the same speed, same speed as PLA. I was like, let me just try and run it, and it came out really good. It came out really good.
Well,
like,
did you check the MVS in there, the maximum volumetric speed, and see what they have it set on in your slicer?
oh, for the actual slicer, I'll have a quick
I
look.
doubt it's anywhere near 21. It should be more like about 5 to 6 or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Or did you actually just leave it set to PLA and put your fingers in your ears and wait to see what happened?
Literally, yeah. I just set to PLA speed and it just got
No,
working.
you printed that as PLA with TPU?
Literally, yeah. I'm trying to open up
Wow.
Elegoo Slicer now.
I've been seeing a lot of that lately where people have been having problems with TPU with their layering and everything. And someone said that they printed it with the PLA settings and they had good luck with it versus TPU settings.
That's nuts.
Literally,
I
yeah.
was like, what?
I'm stunned it worked.
Those of us that have been at it for a while are sitting there going, I'd be picking up pieces of my print head off the floor once in a while. And squirted out and turned into a huge balloon and exploded.
What
Right.
what filament was that? Which TPU? What brand?
I think it was. Which one was it?
Wasn't bamboo.
It's like kind of a random filament. It's one of the old ones I had. I think it's like a random Amazon one. Yeah,
And that
yeah,
worked at PLA as PLA.
yeah.
Wow.
PLA speeds.
That's
I'm trying to get this to open up. I don't know why it's taking so long, but usually it's a lot quicker. Oh, there it is.
wow.
Oh, it's at the same.
There's the golden horseshoe somewhere painful, plus a hell of a printer in that combo.
Yeah. Usually it's a lot quicker to load. This is
I know Bamboo
Taking a
came
minute.
out with TPU that's supposed to work in the AMS, but people have been saying it ain't working very well.
Yeah.
I've heard
Right.
that too. They'll they'll load it up and all of a sudden it says that it's not compatible with the AMS. It's like, what?
No way. So the actual setting itself said it's not compatible rather than like it not working physically. And that's pretty insane.
Well, no wonder it's taking forever. You're on a Windows machine, you poor guy.
Yeah, good old Windows. See, it usually takes, it's like way quicker. It's like, a few seconds, but I don't know if it's because I've got stuff loaded.
I got a fast Windows gaming machine with a 4060 Ti graphics card, and I also got a 2015 MacBook Pro. Well, when I was trying to use Idea Maker for that belt printer, I put a link in there to the one I got, that Clipper version of it, and it's just unbelievably slow on the Mac because it's so old. Well, then I threw it on the Windows machine, and
I thought you said you threw it out the window.
What's that?
I thought you said you threw it out the window for a second.
No.
Yeah.
Silly boy, only pigs can fly, not apples.
Okay, so Elegoo PLA. This is super slow.
Oh, what'd they do? Take the bamboo slicer for that too?
It's the what's the other slicer called? Orca slicer, right?
Orca.
So it's a fork of
Orca.
Orca
I was gonna
slicer.
say that's Orca.
Oh, Orca. Okay.
Which is the same as bamboo. They also have like a fork of Orca slicer.
Yeah.
Wow, this is unbelievably slow.
Orca and bamboo are kind of weird because bamboo's based on Orca and on Prusa slicer, but
Right.
it's at the point where bamboo is back feeding upgrades from Orca into their slicer instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
Yep. Right.
So and I think that's where a lot of the resentment from at least people in the IT world and open source world is you're going to lock your
reload this thing.
You've made all your benefits from the open source world and your slicers. Yeah. Be interesting to look at their firmware and reload it. That came from someone.
Yeah, you got to turn on your advanced, I think, to see those settings, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I know it's just not loading right now. I'm gonna try to reload this thing. I'm gonna try to close it down. Cause this is insanely like it's never been this slow before. I don't know if it's because I got the video open or something like that. Okay,
well, your web browser takes a lot of memory, so
potentially, yeah. Was it my connection?
How much RAM you got in that machine?
I think this is 8 gig.
Oh yeah, you need to.
Yeah, that's why.
For $50-$60, you can probably upgrade that to 32 gigabyte, and it'll make a huge difference.
Well, we're talking about upgrades and waiting on this to come up. I'll mention I did get Hanyan working finally.
Nice.
Very
nice.
Putting a 3060 Ti in my machine, rewiring the power supply, buying an adapter for 6 to 8 pin graphics power, finding that they were miswired, and running out late last night in the snowstorm to my shop and soldering up and using liquid electrical tape to make a different power adapter. And I now have a 3060 Ti running with 64 gig of memory and a basic generation that took over 2 hours with a 1660 Super and 64 gig now runs in under 20 minutes.
Wow.
So there's no lightning fast, oh my goodness, the brim of my hat spun around on my head as it went over, but it's not bad. I have not yet figured out their background elimination. I think I'm going to have to get a lot better at using intelligent masks to separate models if I'm going to use that to generate STLs for 3D printing. But at least the application runs. And let me assure you, if you go to install it on a Windows machine, you must install the specific version of Python and the specific version of the CUDA drivers that the all the other crap is built for. Because if you put in the latest and greatest, your world will crash and burn in strange and perverted ways that will have you scratching your head.
Epic.
So yeah, it I spent a day dinking with software configuration and installation issues. It's not. There is allegedly a turnkey install version of it. There's also a program called Trellis, which is completely open source, and allegedly there is a Windows build of that which only requires 8 gig on your graphics card. I have not installed
Nice.
it or dabbled with it. The original Trellis requires a NVIDIA card with 32 gig of VRAM, which immediately moves you out of the consumer world and into their professional products division, which has typically, rather like other fun things, has a call for price and bid. So, as a retired old fart, I don't play in that league.
There's no way this thing is still loading. Okay, it's opened up another Elegoo slicer.
Ooh, blazing speed, blistering performance. Quick, write the marketing pamphlet.
I think it's got too many things open. I've got the Bamboo, Elegoo, this other software. It shouldn't be running that slow though. Come on now.
Oh, come on, man. It's that solitaire game you got running on Pogo that's sucking up all your RAM.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Okay, what we got? Trying to get it up. Oh wow, this thing is trolling me. It just keeps on going up and in.
It's Google Meets doing it to you.
Yeah, this is
I will
insane.
say that Google Meet does have some quirky aspects to it.
It does.
I mean,
My thing is spazzing out right
my
now.
Yeah, my old video camera that kept popping me up as Mr. Magenta Man.
Jesus.
Nah, that was the only thing that did it. And I do other Zoom meetings regularly with model railroaders and the metalworking group and CNC groups I'm in. This is the only
Wow.
one that popped me up as Mr. Magenta. Come on.
Yeah, this thing is absolutely spazzing
Give me a
out.
little yellow. Let's go. Give me the other channels on that chroma. Give it to me. But no.
I've never seen this before. It's literally opening up and closing by itself, like several times.
So see, go into Task Manager
I
and
already
see
tried
how many instances of it's running.
I've already tried that. The task manager stopped responding as well.
You got any extra browser tabs open, you might want to close them up because browsers take a lot of memory.
Yes, they do
Yeah.
for some reason now.
Yeah.
they're
I've got
terrible.
2 windows, but right now I can't even click on anything.
Oh wow.
Yeah, let me
That's
just
because
try
you haven't
and...
restarted it in 360 days.
360 seconds. Come on.
Okay, let's try and get...
Says the Linux bigot in the group who still has to have Windows machines to do the fun things he wants to do.
See, that's the problem.
This is insane.
I have Linux machines that run and do a bunch of other stuff, but there's a lot of stuff I have to go back to Windows.
I tell you, for Windows, I have to have it for my flight simulators for radio control aircraft.
Yep.
There just isn't a good one for Linux. I've got to have it for my synthesizers and music. There are a few good synthesizers that are native on Linux, but if you want to run Arturia, if you want to, Reaper's very nice on Linux, but unfortunately the virtual instruments are not binary compatible between Linux and Windows. So you want the sound of a Steinway concert grand. You got to watch that stupid little circle going around its perimeter on boot up time to get into the land of Windows.
Mike, you just need to get yourself a memory upgrade there, Mike.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah. I'm trying to open up that Windows thing, a little shortcut, see if I can get some activity.
Hell, it's getting to the point that you can't even open a lot of games without at least 32 gig in a Windows machine, according to my next door neighbor who still plays games. I haven't done that in years, but I might go back to it though. I haven't played Duke Nukem in a while.
Okay, let's try and close some stuff down. Let's see if I can get some activity here. It's got some weird phantom windows that are squares, but I've no picture in there. It's an interesting one right now.
That is Google Meets doing that to you.
Very likely.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got 2 instances of Elegoo Slicer. One's down. The other one just popped up.
You know, there's nothing
this
wrong
down.
with writing re-entrant self-referential code as
Okay,
long as
got
you
it down.
have your act together. But boy, you
Save
better look
this.
for memory leaks before you turn that thing loose on the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I finally got the Elegoos down. I'm saving my bamboo slicer one. I was going to do a hue forge on there. Alright, got some activity now. Awesome.
Yeah. But you
Can
can
actually
see,
move my mouse.
I've got an island
Let's
background.
close this down. Okay, cool. Do I open up Elegoo Slicer again?
I don't know. What else can you shut down before you try to launch it?
I shut down my bamboo slicer, my hue forge, and something
You were
else.
running Forge at the same time?
Yeah, I was gonna put one on real quick. Oh yeah, I can quickly show you. I did one hue forge on my brother's car, so this one came out pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of looks like a Picasso almost. It's got that kind of aesthetic, right? Yeah, it's a pretty nice car.
See, I did a couple of lithophanes. One that was just grayscale or white scale, however you want to call it. It's all white. And then I actually did a CMYK one of the same logo. And it's like, I hated the long print of the all white one, but I liked the way it came out better than the color one.
Hey, what do you mean by all white? So you did like what colors? Like
all white. It's just a grayscale. So you're using white filament for everything, and the thicknesses, because you print white lithophanes or grayscale lithophanes on the vertical because it builds up. CMYK does it on the horizontal, so now you still have the same. I was comparing them too. You still have the same reliefs on there, but one's built on the vertical and one's built on its back for the color transparency.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So basically just doing different depths but horizontally rather than that makes sense. That's good. Yeah, Kurt, nice to see you got your camera on. Do you have your microphone working as well? There we go.
I don't know. Is my microphone working?
Yeah, loud and clear,
Yes,
loud and clear.
I just got a new computer and it doesn't work the same as the old computer.
That's fair. Good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, where are you from? You know, tell us a bit about yourself, how long you've been 3D printing, basic stuff like that.
Well, I'm in Los Angeles, and how long have I been 3D printing? Probably 10 years.
Nice.
I started off actually, I was just interested in how the process works. I bought a kickstarted sort of self-built 3D printer, which amazingly still works after all these years. and it has issues. I'm looking at it and going, okay, I can see why. But I mean, it was 10 years ago at the cutting edge of basically the consumer 3D printer. It was very useful for me to do that because now I simply understand, how they work. Don't have any worry with that. I went on to a monoprice Mini Delta. Don't get me started with that. That is a big pile of fail.
Yeah, I've heard.
It's not the Delta configuration. It's that their build plate is literally impossible to deal with.
Mm.
You know how it's build plates are either too sticky or not sticky enough. Currently, I have a Prusa Mark IV, which I'm very happy with.
Nice.
And I'm looking to developing my own models for sale rather than licensing someone else's, because I've had bad luck contacting people and getting licenses.
Right.
I don't know if my market is saturated or the people I'm going to just don't know how this works, but that's it.
So
Just so
kind
you
of
know,
like kind of like gatekeeping almost.
oh well, yeah. I mean, I get weird. I mean, I don't have a trouble with it. Like one of them, they basically gave me the runaround, but then I later found out that basically they were in negotiations with somebody to give them a monopoly
Right.
on, and that's fine. Just tell me that, and I would say, well, if your negotiations break down, you have any issues, let me know, and I'm more than happy to do that. But a straight no was better than jerking you for a while.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Given what my market is, I'm actually looking into getting a resin printer.
Okay.
But resin printers have their own issues.
They stink and they're messy, but they do make some detailed prints.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yep, I love my resin printers, but anything I can do FDM, you're damn right. I'm squirting melted plastic.
Yeah.
You be curing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm looking at like doing miniatures for role playing games, and you just don't get the detail that is demanded.
Are you
point.
familiar with Fat Dragon Gaming?
Absolutely.
Okay. His profiles with the A1 Mini will get you close to resin quality using Sunlu Meta filament.
Yeah.
It's not, but it still isn't resin quality.
I have to tell you, with Prusa, using the Prusa products, you get close to resin quality.
Yep.
So it's one of those things where if it's terrain, yeah, I can print it. Nobody's gonna
Oh
care.
yeah.
But if it's the figures themselves or the little miniatures, and some of them are very small, dealing with 6mm miniatures, there's no way I can.
Ooh.
6 millimeter.
Sheesh.
That's pretty small.
You're not doing
Yeah.
28 and 32. You're doing like N scale model railroad figures.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
This isn't for role playing. This is for wargaming. But
Have you considered the joys of learning how to do home injection molding and making dies with something like a Haas OM1 micro mill and learning how to use 0.1 millimeter end mills? Because at 6 millimeter, you're getting into the ragged edge of disaster.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that a resin printer will do it with no issue. It's the cleaning that'll kill it.
Yeah.
True.
And
Yeah, supports and all that.
which is one of the things I'm trying to figure out what the best between price and also the fact that I'm a total beginner on resin printers, and I'm I don't want to drop a few $1,000s
Go to Uncle Jesse's channel on YouTube. He got everything for
I
resin.
mean, Elegoo is
Yeah,
probably like the most well known for resin. Like I've got the Elegoo Saturn 4 Ultra, and that's a
Mhm.
Oh,
solid. That's a
you got the one with the tilt build plate.
right. Yeah, yeah. That one's a beauty.
Yeah,
Absolute beauty.
Mhm.
that's what I've been
You're
looking at for
a
my
sexy
next
beast.
resin.
What do you say, Stan?
Aren't you a sexy beast? Hell,
That's a good one. That's a good one.
3 plus. Hell.
I did a review on it and a video
He's
review as
had it
well.
since day one.
Basically, yeah, I've had it for a while. Yeah, yeah. I did a video
Somebody
review on
in the
YouTube.
district made him a deal. I got a cousin in Poughkeepsie who can make you
Do
take
you-
care of you.
Do you have another resin printer, Mike?
I've got like 6 or 7,
Oh,
maybe
so I'm
8.
just wondering how that new Saturn Ultra compares for speed. It's supposed to be quite a bit quicker, you know.
Oh, it's so good. It's great. Yeah,
Yeah,
fastest
that's
one.
when I got a Saturn 3, and I'm gonna get that 4 when I get around to buying my next resin here. I just ain't got to it yet.
Yeah, I think I've got a
Nice.
3 plus, and that's a nice machine, but it's not the 4. And apparently, who is it? Unimation has proceeded to play the same games of Bamboo as shooting themselves in the foot. So,
Wow.
or is it Ultimation? I can't remember, but I remember their printers looked nice because they had the heated chamber and it wasn't on a hot air blower method.
Do you know? Do you know which you know which one was real cool though? The Anycubic. I can't remember the exact model, but they made a machine. It's like the M7 or something. One of their machines had the refilling like function, so you could put
the
a bottle
automated
there.
refilling, and you could put the tanks up top.
Yeah, that was cool as fuck. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Does the new Saturn
the
have that?
thing. Nah, this is an Anycubic.
Yeah, the
Which
new
one was
Saturn
it?
doesn't have that though, huh?
Nah. It's not really been a thing in many machines.
Don't they have a run out on that or something where it tells you if it's low or?
Yeah. I don't know if it's on the Saturn 4. I think they did have that feature. I've not used it for a little bit. I'm gonna look through my articles, see if I can find which Anycubic that was. Okay, got Mono X,
I
Mono
feel your
Mono
pain, though,
M5S. It might have been that one.
5S or 5S Pro?
Was it the M3? Let me check both of them.
It was the
M3
XL
Plus.
Extended Edition SE, don't you know?
There's so many like different machines.
I see they got
I don't think it's this one.
Elegoo's got the Saturn 4 Ultra 16K now that has a tank heater on it too.
Oh, nice.
That
That's cool.
would be nice because I know I had issues with that before. If you don't have that resin warm enough, it'll.
Yeah, I've got a seed starter mat under my printer, and a box that's duct taped together out of 1/2 inch. I believe it's called T-Max Tech Insulation, which is a foil-faced R5. And because I'm here in Tidewater, Virginia, and at the moment it's 20 degrees. And if you think you're going to print resin in a shop under a mezzanine where the ambient temperature is 54 degrees without hot air blowing, you're not going to have any happiness at all. So,
Well, when you say it has to be
Let's see,
a
I
certain
found it.
temperature, I mean, remember, I'm in Los Angeles. I'm not looking at big issues with heat.
oh, yes, you are. You guys wear down coats when it's 60 degrees. I was working out in LA when
I know, but
immigration.
I meant for the printer, not for me. You know,
I find the best temp to print resin at is somewhere in the 78 to 80 degrees.
oh well, then I'll just wait till later in the
Yeah,
year.
suffer. You're good only 10
I'm
months
good.
out of the
What
year.
happens?
I feel for
What
you.
happens when it gets to 95 though?
You know, it still prints well.
Good.
It still prints
I'm
well.
thinking that I actually am going to,
Your
wanna-
exposure times will drop as the temperature goes up.
Hmm.
I mean, you may want to run some calibrations at different normal ambient temperatures if you print in a garage or in a basement or in an outbuilding or whatever.
Hmm.
Or, depending on what your revenue stream is based on what you're printing, if it's a commercial enterprise, there's a lot to be said for putting a mini split where you and the printer can both be comfortable while you work for 10 hours.
Hmm.
Just,
It's
something
interesting.
to toss out there. Sometimes throwing money at a problem is the cheapest way to fix it.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of setting up an outside work area for it.
Yeah.
And sitting back on my lawn chair, drinking a Mai Tai while it's printing.
There are worse things in the world. I prefer rye myself, but I'm a redneck in Virginia, so I don't do those
Well,
umbrella drinks.
I don't. My hat is off to you if you can drink rye. To me, it always uh, 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 tastes like kerosene.
It's like scotch. It's an acquired taste. If you like it and you take to it, it's a wonderful thing. If you don't, I would say, well, then, if you don't like it, you don't like it. I can't drink rum. Gives me an instant headache.
Interesting.
So,
Hmm.
I love coconut. I love pina coladas, but nah, man, going to Jamaica for me is just out of the cards. I'd have a headache the whole time.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you guys: have you tried the make a statue thing with Make a Lab?
Nope.
Nah.
On bamboo?
Yeah, with the Maker World stuff. So I did
Well,
one of my models. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
oh, go ahead. What did they got something new?
Yeah, so I did one model of myself. It came out pretty decent. This is
Oh,
one I
the
did a while
statue.
back. Yeah,
Statue.
exactly. You got a
Yeah,
little.
they do good on those.
How
Yep.
how's it look?
That's
Hang on a sec. Tilt your head back a little, would you, sir?
yeah, that's you.
Okay, yeah, the beard's there. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
bad.
You,
It's not
you're on a
bad.
black background with the turtleneck. I'm going, damn, where'd that good looking beard come from? Yeah.
So I ended up doing a
Yeah.
bigger version. So we've got one that looks a little bit more like me, but it's white. So okay, we've got the lighting. So I don't know if I can get good focus on there.
You're going to bloom out the highlights. There's no
Yeah.
How would I do that? Would I
Yeah.
have to? Oh, okay. It's getting something
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. That's
a little bit.
it's amazing how this stuff's moving
Oh,
along
there we go.
now. So
There we go.
Yep.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not bad, is it? It's not bad.
No, you can,
So I was thinking of like offering it as like a service. Like I'll make some content about it, and then I'll basically I'll offer an extra thing where I can make it kind of comedic. So I can take it into Blender and like make the ears bigger, make the nose bigger, add some extra features on there, and make it kind of comedic in that way. Kind of like street art.
caricature. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was thinking of doing something like that, kind of offering it as a service. I think that could be a pretty cool idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see how that
Or you could
goes.
pull it into DAZ 3D and do some really weird shit.
What's that? That's 3D?
Yeah. Have you ever played with that?
Nah. What is it?
It's a figure modeling thing, very much like Poser was, and I think Poser might still be around and licensed to somebody, but it's faded into obscurity. It was one of the first kinematic based figure modeling packages that it would keep you from doing stupid things that would require an orthopedic surgeon to fix in a normal pose.
Okay.
But yeah, DAZ 3D, it's called DAZ Studio, and it's a freebie also, but it's not open source, and it's Windows only.
Okay.
But it does have some interesting libraries. I've occasionally used it to create some figures for model railroading and model boats and things like that. But it's so much different from Blender. It's a whole other
Monster.
The skills do not translate from one to the other.
Right,
Even the
right.
terminology doesn't translate.
Okay. I mean, it's worth trying. So, can you put like an existing STL in there? Is that how it works? And you can make edits to it, or is it different?
I know you can pull in images and work with them and map them onto a figure.
Oh,
But
interesting.
I've never tried to pull an STL into DAZ. I've got it on a machine sitting here, but I haven't mucked with it for probably a year. It just,
Okay.
I so rarely need to do figure modeling. You know, it's in HO
Yeah.
scale, you can almost always find something close enough. And if not, you just grab out your big X-Acto knife and you hack it in half and you re-glue it and add a little putty to it, and it's plausible. Easy to be a
Nice.
peasant and pragmatic, you know.
Yeah, I mean, with the introduction of all the new AI modelers, you could probably even use that and get some interesting kind of features.
If you can isolate the figure from the background, that's the thing I'm running into right now, at least with the Hunyan, is that
Yeah.
One of my experiments was a butterfly picture I've got on a japonica, and I said, "Yeah, eliminate the background." Well, it got rid of most of the plant, and it left one branch and the butterfly just dangling there in midair, just defying gravity, having a good old time. But the plant was still there.
Yeah, so what do you mean the background? Like, so you put the image in, and
Right.
are you
Well,
removing the background from the image first and then doing it?
If you look at me, you can tell who's me and who's the fake background, right? I mean, it's
Kind
not
of.
tricky. Yeah. Well, here I am ridiculously pink because my fluorescent light color is wrong for my camera sensor. Okay. We're cool. I'm
That
really
explains the
happy.
magenta.
Yeah, it could. It might very well. But if I tell it to remove the background, it may not do a good job of just taking everything away except me. So when it
Right.
creates the 3D image, if I came over here, it might create a 3D image with this bizarre thing growing out of the side of my head. And it
Okay.
might get rid of all this crap over here.
Or Stan's head
Wait,
may be floating.
so that's direct in the
Could be.
software.
Just
that's direct in the
bobbing
software, right?
along. Yeah, kind of doing the Futurama or the Rick and Morty show me what you got.
Wait, so have you tried removing the background from the image first, and then
Well,
using that?
that's the thing that I need to do is I need to go into the photo editors and I need to get smart about smart masking, and I'm not there yet.
Okay,
And
because you could
the lack
probably.
of skill on my part, because normally, for most normal photographic things, you don't need to use all the super sexy features. You know, you play with the saturation and the hue and the shadow values, maybe the curves.
Some
You
highlights.
only use 30 or 40 features somewhere in Darktable or Lightroom, depending on where you play in the world. But to go and say, create a mask and make all of that disappear and just leave me on a white background or a transparent background, actually, that's a different thing to achieve.
Definitely.
And, it's doable. I just haven't got smart about how to do it yet.
Okay.
Just like
Yeah.
everything else, you walk into a new gig on a new contract and you go, okay, tell me what I need to read and look at so I can get smart about this goofiness, guys. And
For
hopefully
sure.
they're intelligent and they point you at the right thing and you turn into a useful human being pretty quickly.
Yeah, all the learning process, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I had another statue model. So, have you guys heard of Luke Littler?
Ooh.
He's like a dart player. He's getting pretty big. He's like young adult player, but he's winning all kinds of competitions right now. So
No, never heard of them.
You guys do a lot of darts in those pubs over there, according to the fictional movies, anyway. Is that right?
Oh no, it's so true.
no.
I lived in England for 5 years,
Oh,
and
okay.
I shot on a pub league because a couple of us got invited because we were playing on a league on base.
Okay.
Nice.
So it's true.
Okay, so I want to get you guys' opinion on how accurate this one is. So you can have a look at the pictures. Let me probably pull up this one, I guess. So I made like a smaller one at first. I made a bigger one, so let me get the smaller one first. Okay, so this is the smaller one. Let's see how well that shows up. So what would you say about the accuracy of that compared to the picture?
Is that the picture you used for it?
Nah, there's a different picture. I can't remember. Let's see.
Your highlights
I mean,
are blowing out because of your lighting, of course.
yeah.
Oh
But-
yeah, I can't see the thing. Okay, it's a bit better.
Yeah,
I can kind of see
Yeah.
it.
yeah, I can see. Yeah, looking at the picture that's sitting there on the Wikipedia flick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that
somewhat.
looks like a pretty reasonably good. Looks like a decent model of them. Yeah.
Okay, so I went and made a bigger version as well. I went max size. So, you guys ready? It's a massive
Yeah.
head. Boom.
Oh my
Holy
God.
moly.
You're going to cosplay one of the great dart players,
Yep.
and you're going to show up. Hey, a helpful hint, wear white gloves and long sleeves. If your arms are hanging out, it's going to be a telltale that maybe you're not him.
Or make sure you buy enough rounds ahead of time.
Let's see. I
That
think it's a
too.
better picture. It looks more accurate to this picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
It's pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Nice little example. And yeah, I didn't have to really I don't think I have to do any editing to this one. Basically, the ear over here, you see like this ear on the right side, it's got like more of a hole there.
Okay.
And then this other side, it's a little bit more, it's like less indented. So I should have done a bit of editing there, but I just kind of went for it. I didn't know it's because of the smaller model. Didn't really show it up
Actually,
that much.
He's got a little bit of difference between his ears looking at the photographs.
Oh, he actually does.
Yeah, he actually does have some difference between the ears. Earlobes and ear shape are very distinguishing characteristics when you're looking at an individual.
That's a good point. Yeah. See a bit of a difference.
But it's something that, depending on where you've been, you may have never considered that before.
Yeah. It's
2 minutes.
17 years old. We got 2 minutes.
Warning. 2-minute warning.
Put this down.
Yeah, but that doesn't work. It's not like the Super Bowl where 2 minutes, another hour.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see you show up next week wearing that as a cosplay head. That's gonna weird me out.
That'd be a good one, actually. Yeah, you can actually do like you can make him into like masks and stuff, isn't it? Yeah, 'cause I'm thinking about like the whole head. You could actually like just get the
Now we know
imprint.
what
in
he's gonna be doing on that Elegoo.
I'm just
Go for a reason.
flashing on the classic scene with Cleavon Little and Blazing Saddles wearing the white dude's ditty and then the horn going up.
I'm not too familiar. Is that older reference?
Yep. Did you ever see Blazing Saddles? Michael, have you
Oh
seen
no, I
that?
didn't see. No,
You
no.
need
Mel
to.
Brooks movie. Oh my
You're
God.
dating yourself there, Stan.
Yeah, I am. But oh my
Love
God.
it.
There was a great scene where Cleavon Little shows up to recruit into this thing, and he's a black guy. and he's totally dressed, but he didn't put on gloves. And it was absolutely hysterical. He was one of the greatest actors of all time, and he died way too young. But
Oh yeah, quick note. Remember the TPU thing? So it is the same as 21 millimeters cubed for the TPU model. So
And it printed it.
wow,
yeah, which is
Amazing.
awesome. Now the meeting's gonna finish soon, but yeah, TPU PLA speeds, and yeah, it came out really good.
that's nuts. And
Yeah.
it's a water pistol too. I'm loving it.